We consistently book over 10 calls a week for ourselves and our clients, all without using any type of ads or making any type of content. We've also generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for our clients without using any ads or making any content. And in this video, I'll show you my exact blueprint for generating leads using my cold outbound engine. Again, it's a lot cheaper than ads and it starts getting results quicker than any content so that you can book over 10 calls a week immediately. Let's hop right into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video where I'll show you how you can book over 10 calls a week, all without using any type of ads or making any content using my 3-step cold outbound engine. So the three or four tools that you might need is Smart Lead to send out the email, set up all the emails and domains, Apollo or Outscraper to build that lead list of your ideal customers, and just some ChatGPT to do some market research. It's pretty simple or lean in terms of tech stack. You don't need much to actually go ahead and actually do this, right? So first things first, we'll get started with the infrastructure, or I guess you could say the setup, right? We're going to use smartly.ai to essentially set up all of the cold outbound emails, right? And so what you can do now on Smartlead is if you go to the email section or email accounts tab and click on add new accounts, you can actually set up new email accounts inside of Smartlead itself so that you don't have to go through the hassle of setting up all the DNS records, the CNAME on like Porkbun or GoDaddy or whatever people use nowadays. You can actually do it inside of Smartlead itself so that it saves you a bunch of time, right? So I recommend you actually start out by doing this first step. Set up your email accounts, and here's how you should set it up, right? Use 75% of your email accounts should be towards Google. The other 25% should be Outlook. Now, as of January 10th, 2025, this is the best setup to run because Google is currently on top and Outlook isn't really performing as much, right? But what I will say is that this can change, and this can change immediately. If you're watching this, let's say in June or August or even like next year, right? This can be flipped on its head and it could be Outlook that's king and Google that's suffering because at the beginning of 2024, it was actually the opposite where Outlook was king and Google was the one that wasn't performing as well. Now it's Google that's performing well and Outlook that isn't really performing as much, right? So what I like to say is always stay on top of your toes and diversify all your email accounts so that if one provider goes to shit, another one is still good. So if Google goes to shit, you still have some Outlook accounts and you can set up new ones and you can still be sending out outbound messages, right? So this is the split that I recommend going with right now though. Do mostly Google and have some Outlook, right? So for example, if you have 14 domains, which would mean 28 email accounts each, which would be 2 email accounts per domain, 21 of those should be Gmail and 7 should be Outlook. I honestly recommend you guys do this setup right here if you're just starting out because this will easily send over 1,000 cold emails a month or 10,000 cold emails a month, right? Which is decent volume enough to where you will book over 10 calls a week if you have the correct offer and everything dialed in place, right? But I recommend you start at this amount or this many email accounts and this many domains specifically just because it's really optimal for sending out outbound messages, right? So with that being said, this is the split that you should be going with Google and Outlook and 75% of your Google accounts or 75% of your email accounts should be Google, the other 25 should be Outlook, right? Then once you've added everything in place, you just need to wait 2 weeks for the warm-up process to finish because if you immediately start sending out outbound messages right after you make these email accounts, Google and Microsoft will be like, okay, this guy's a spammer. He just made his account and he's sending out over 30 messages a day. This guy's a spammer for sure, right? And they'll mark you as spam. So wait for 2 weeks to warm up for the warm up process to finish, and then you can start sending out emails. But in the meantime, what you can do is after all these email accounts have been set up and are in the warm up process, you can get started on the second step, which is building out your list of your ideal customer profile, right? Now, this is very important because if you send out emails to just random people pitching your services, it's not going to work, right? I'm sure most of you that have done marketing or are in marketing, you know that if you have one clear target audience with all of their pain points and desires that you understand about them, and you have it, if you're targeting that one clear audience, it's a lot easier to actually get them to buy or get them to buy or become your customer or get them to hop on a call. And it's the exact same thing with cold email, right? Have one clear target audience. That way you can write specifically to one persona, one type of person that has some type of one pain point and some type of desire, and it's just super easy to just get them on a call with, right? So there's gonna be two steps that you're gonna do for ICP, right? The first thing is you're gonna figure this out first. You're gonna figure out, okay, what exactly is my ICP? What job title are they? What industry are they? What employee headcount are they? What technology are they? And another thing you can add is you can add geographical location if that matters to you, right? So for example, if I am a billing software, right, and I work with insurance companies to help with their billing, right? My ICP could just be like the CFO of insurance companies that have over 50 employees that use, I don't know, what's a billing software that use QuickBooks, right? I don't know if QuickBooks is a good example, but just stick with me here, right? That could be my ICP right there because I have the job title, I have the industry, I have the headcount, and I have the technology that they use. That's a lot easier than just reaching out to all CFOs pitching your software, right? Instead, you narrow it down very, 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 very slow. That way, you're only not slow, but I guess yeah. You just narrow it down to just one specific type of persona. That way, you can fight and you can write your messages in a way that is tailored to their pain points. So what I mean is, the CFOs of insurance companies could have a different pain point when it comes to their billing software versus somebody like the health and wellness, let's say a CFO of a health and wellness company. Why? Because you have to think about it like this. Let's say it's a commercial insurance company, right? Basically, how commercial insurance works is around the time, like towards the end of the year, that's when a lot of people start renewing their insurance for next year, for their business insurance for next year, and they have, insurance companies get extremely busy, especially commercial insurance companies, right? So let's say you're reaching out to CFOs of insurance companies during that time, right? You could talk about how, hey, it's getting busy. I know around this time of the year, all of your clients are probably hitting you up and asking you to do so and so. Here's how our billing software could help you, right? Versus if you're just reaching out to all CFOs, you wouldn't know that because your target audience isn't that narrowed down and tailored, right? So I want you to find your ICP and write this down, right? And I believe, yeah, there's another example. You could do CEO, logistics company that have over 11 to 50 employees that use the technology ShipStation, right? But what I want you to do is write this down. Write this down. Write down what job title they're in, write down what industry they're in, how many employees they have, as well as what technologies they may use, and even geographical location on where they may be. Write all of this down because this is very, very important information to target these companies, right? The second thing with their ICP is you have to understand your target market's pain points and desires, right? And there's a few ways you could do this. Number one is my favorite way, which is ChatGPT. Number two, you can also talk to your current customers. Or number three, you can get into communities where your ideal customers are. Now, for ChatGPT, I actually have some examples below on how to do this. But the second thing is if you currently have customers or clients right now, you could ask them like, hey, what made you want to buy? Like, what made you want to decide to work with us? And what were you guys? What pain points were you guys facing before working with us? Right? It's super easy to ask that to one of your current customers, especially if you've performed really well for them, because they will tell you, all right, like, yeah, we were dealing with this issue, but then working with you guys helped solve this, right? Or you can also get into communities where your ideal customers are. So what I mean is, I remember when we were doing outbound for commercial insurance companies in New York or yeah, commercial insurance companies that were targeting, let's say, construction companies or trade, or construction companies, right? What we did essentially was we joined Facebook groups of where these construction companies lie, and we would ask these construction companies like, "Hey, how is your insurance right now? Like, are you paying a lot? Do you have deductibles, or do you have a full coverage on jobs, or how's your insurance company? How's your insurance right now, right?" And they would tell us, yeah, like this is what happened, and here's our insurance is. And then we'd ask them like, okay, so like, what are some of your pain points when it comes to insurance? They'd be like, oh, well, this is too high, or the coverage was not enough, blah 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 blah. You get my point. We basically got into communities where our ideal customers are. For some of you, you could do Facebook groups. For others, you could do Reddit. For others, you can do any type of forum or online place where they may be. You should go to there and ask them, like, what is your what is some of your pain points? What are some of your desires you may have, right? And you can frame it as just like a market research type of question. You can be like, hey, like I'm doing market research on logistics companies. Could I just ask you a few simple questions about uh, logistics and my software, let's say, right? And they will be happily to answer. Some of them will. Well, those will be like, okay, sure. If you're not going to pitch me anything, sure, go ahead. And you can just ask them that. Or, in my opinion, the best way and the most time saving way, I would say, is just use ChatGPT, right? You can just ask ChatGPT, like, okay, my company does this, and we are working with this ICP or this industry or job title at these industries. What are some pain points they may have that we could help them solve, right? And it'll tell you, like, here are some pain points that they may have, and it'll boom, boom, boom. Then you could also go into specific detail and be like, hey, be more specific on the pain points. What keeps them up at night that my services or offer can help them with? And they'll say, okay, yeah, here are some pain points they may have when it comes to your services or offer, and boom, 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 right? Then you can be like, okay, so like, what are some desires they may have? And for this example, we were pitching video production services to plastic surgery clinics that have over 10 employees, and they say, okay, here are some desires they may have. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is tell ChatGPT, hey, this is my ideal customer, and you can literally just put this. Oops, where's it at? You can literally just put this, like just put their job title, put their industry, put their head count, and put some technologies they may use, and put your website and be like, okay, based off of my website, what are some pain points that my ICP may have? Or based off of my website, what are some desires that my ICP may have that I could help them solve with my services or product or offer, right? And it will literally go through your website and go through those characteristics of ICP and tell you what are some pain points they may have, right? And this is so good because you don't have to get in forums, so you don't have to, talk to your customers. You can just get it from ChatGPT itself. Now, is this always the most accurate? No, but this is a very, very good starting point to understand your target audience. So just do this. Go into ChatGPT, put your ICP, like literally you can just put this, like this right here, and then copy paste your website and be like, based off of my website, how can I help these companies, or what are some pain points that these companies may have, or this ICP may have that I can help them with, or what are some desires they may have that I can help them reach. That's it, and you will get amazing outputs, and you could just tell ChatGPT to boil it down to the three biggest for each pain point and each desire. Be like, what are the three biggest pain points that I could help them solve, or what are the three biggest desires that I could help them solve? And this works super well. Honestly, this works super well. So that is it for ICP. The last step really is just the scripts, right? So for scripts, no need to overcomplicate it. Here is a quick bare bones checklist that you need to do, right? One, keep it short and simple. Nobody wants to read an MLA essay, especially if it's from a stranger. And even if your target audience has like PhDs or they're doctors or lawyers, even them, they don't want to read it. Why? Because you have to realize, even if you're a doctor or lawyer and you deal with all this high level stuff and jargon every single day, if you send them a simple message that is like a text or an email that one of their friends would text them, they'll respond. They'll be like, okay, well, this guy just sent me like a email that's so simple and easy to understand, and I usually don't get emails like this. I'm interested, right? This just piques my eye because every single day I get emails that are like Harvard essays, but this guy just sent me like a freaking third grade essay, like a what the third grade text, like what is this, right? And it'll literally be a pattern interrupt, and they'll be interested, right? The second thing is keep it short. So again, no one wants to read an essay, especially you have to think of yourself. If you're an owner of, let's say, a dental clinic, and you have 3 dental clinics, and that's who you want to work with, by the way. Let's say you're emailing your ICP, and your ICP is dental clinic owners. Imagine the stuff that goes on in that dental clinic owner's head. They have to wake up every single day. They have to manage 3 clinics. They have to manage all their employees and their payroll. They have to make sure each clinic is running well. They have to make sure that all their dentists below them are providing them the right treatments and whatnot. Then they go home. They have a wife and kids. Their kids might have soccer games on the weekends. They have to manage the relationship with their wife. All of that stuff is going through their head 24/7. So if you send them an entire freaking MLA format essay, they're not gonna read it. They'll just be like, I have too much stuff going on for this stuff. I'm deleting this message. I don't want to bother with all this, especially if it's from a stranger, right? So make it simple and short. That's it. Also, do not use any links or images. People get this wrong all the time, where they send some type of link to their website, or even they might have like a calendar link in their signature. Now, if you have a calendar link in your signature, that is fine if you're sending one-to-one emails. But if you're sending over 1,000 emails, that's not good, because your emails will land in spam. Don't have any links, don't have any images, none of that, right? Just send plain text emails, and it's super easy. Then finally, you need to have an open-ended call to action, right? Do not pitch a call immediately in the first email. That's not going to work. Again, you are a stranger going into their inbox. Why should they listen to you? Who are you, right? Who are you? If a stranger emailed you and they were like, hey, let's hop on a 15-minute call after literally like 2-3 sentences, would you respond to that email and hop on a call with them? More than likely, no, unless it's freaking someone in your industry that's very, very famous or big. You would not respond to that. So ask a open-ended call to action, or I guess you could say like a soft CTA, where it's like, hey, can I send you more information on how we work, or are you interested in hearing more? That's it. Keep it short, keep it simple, don't send any links or images, and ask an open-ended CTA. And in my opinion, the best script format is this right here. There's literally 1,000 ways to skin the cat. There's 1,000 ways to write email scripts, and there's a bunch of different templates that you can use. But this is always going to work. Number one, the first line is basically like the reason why you're reaching out. This can be a first like a compliment about their company, or a pain point. You're calling out a pain point, or whatever it may be. Then you have your offer. Then you have a case study that you've done. Then you have a call to action. And here's how this works, right? So for example, hey, whatever, I saw that testimonial that this person left about their friendly facelift experience at this company. We can turn your best. That's the first line, which is like, hey, I saw this on your website, and it's like, hey, we could turn your best testimonials like these into engaging videos, so you can build trust with patients and stand out amongst other surgeons. For example, we work with this surgeon to help create an intro video that did this. Would you like me to send it over so you can see our work? So you see what I mean, right? You have a reason why you're reaching out, which is like, hey, I saw a testimonial. We could turn your best testimonials like these into engaging videos so that you can build trust with patients and stand out amongst other surgeons. That's literally the offer that we're pitching them. Here's a case study, and then a soft call to action, which is like, hey, I'm not pitching a call. I'm not saying let's hop on a call right now. I'm saying, can I send you an example of our video so that you can see how it works, right? This is such a good email, because it's never going to go out of style, honestly. Or the second thing you may have is this. Like, hey, I noticed how on your website doesn't show much media coverage, which might make new clients unsure about your trustworthiness. We partner with you to make you the go-to medical authority with our studio quality videos so that you can solve this issue. This person recently used our services to gain 50,000 followers and achieve over 1 million views on several videos. Can I send you some examples to show you that what we can do for you, right? And again, I understand both of these examples are videos, but just swap out this last call to action here with something else. Like, can I send you more information, or interested in hearing more? Because the format is still the same. Reason why you're reaching out, and by the way, this is I know it's but just leave that. But reason why you're reaching out, offer, case study, and a call to action. That's pretty much it, right? It's pretty simple. There's 1,000 ways to skin the cat when it comes to scripts, but this format of scripts right here, this format of scripts will never, ever, ever go out of style. Never, right? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much how you can book over 10 calls a week without using any paid ads or any content, using this cold email outbound engine. And what I want to say is, if you like this type of stuff, you like this type of content, press like and subscribe. And if you're any type of B2B business making over $30,000 a month or more, and you want 10 to 20 qualified meetings a month, click the link below, and we can have a time. You can book a time to chat with me, and we can see if we are a good fit, so that we can actually book you these 10 to 20 qualified meetings every single month. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.